What is going on? This is your old pal CHH. We're here today to talk about a brand new Kino Lorber 4K UHD release, and I was super excited when this got announced. Today we're talking about the 4K release of the 1981 creature feature classic, The Boogens. Gotta love that name, right? The Boogens. It's impossible to be depressed when you say The Boogens. How did I hear about The Boogens? That's a great question. So The Boogens was a movie I learned about through In Search of Darkness. I had never heard of The Boogens. I don't know why. It was just one of those things where it was a creature feature that just kind of slipped right past me. So I was watching In Search of Darkness, and all of a sudden they're kind of going over movies from the early 80s, and sure enough, The Boogens gets brought up. And then they showed the trailer for the movie, and when I heard that deep voice say, The Boogens, I was like, I've got to see this movie. So I picked up what was known as the Olive Blu-ray at the time, and I fell in love with it. I almost thought it wasn't going to be my style, because I looked up some reviews on it, and some people were like, it's fine, it's fine. The Boogens, to me, without describing the plot of the movie yet, is a cozy winter creature feature. But when it gets wild, it gets wild. I think it's a great creature feature it's coming up there. It's coming up there. I mean, people like me just discovered it, and I think with the help of others, we can really push this to be a prominent title in people's collections. So what is The Boogens? Let's talk about the movie for a second. So we're in a small town near Denver. Two young men begin to explore a long-abandoned old mine recently reopened by a group of miners. One of the men is discovered missing. His friends begin a search that leads them to a horrifying consequence. They're unaware of the evil that has been unleashed, and soon, one by one, the townspeople are snatched up by a monster. Suddenly, the grisly truth will be revealed, and a young couple is forced to confront the unknown in order to save their lives and the entire town. So basically, this is one of those creature features where it was a locked-away evil that has now been brought to the world again, but it's done through a really cozy, winter, snowy atmosphere, which I love. Besides, like, The Thing, I can't think of many winter creature features. As a matter of fact, offhand, The Thing is the only thing I can think of. This is one of those weird creature features where, what is the creature, Christian? Can you describe it? It's like a mix between some kind of weird frog-like, monstrous, amphibian, tentacle, long, creepy thing, right? I really can't describe the Boogen. I don't know the name of the monster. I just call it the Boogens. The Boogen monster, if you will. And I'm not going to spoil too much about the Boogens, because I don't know how many people have actually dove into this movie, but I'll tell you, there's this one scene that really creeps me out. This woman is in this house, and there is, like, kind of like in trailer homes or homes up north, like down south, all of our vents in the house are in the roof, but in some houses they come from the floor. Well, in this house, there is a vent cover on the floor, and the Boogen monster pops that thing off and starts coming out of it and trying to drag that woman down into it. It is a harrowing scene. I really love it. But really, what I really love about this film, like I said, it's the cozy nature of it. You could describe this as a slow burn. I'm not a big fan of that phraseology, because to me, a movie's either interesting or it's not. Now, how fast a movie feels, I understand that, but I'm not really a big fan of slow burn. To me, The Boogens is just a really cozy, good creature feature. Really like it. Great acting in this one, and it's just a good movie. I mean, it really is a good creature feature. I think if you're into the creature feature genre, The Boogens is one that you can pull out of people's like, hey, I want to watch a monster movie. Let's check out Pumpkin. Hey, you know what? How about you try The Boogens? I think you'll really like that. So it's a good kind of secret weapon to pull out if you're into the creature features, if you got people that want to see something that they haven't seen before. The Boogens is a perfect movie for that. It came out in the early 80s from Paramount. Just a damn good movie. I've always been a fan of it since the first time I saw it. And, you know, the Olive Blu-ray, I bought that right before they kind of went out of business, so I was able to get that. And, you know, it was a pretty good looking Blu-ray. I had no problems with it, but I was really hoping, really hoping that the 4K release of The Boogens was going to be a home run. When it was announced that Kino was doing it, I had pretty good hopes on that. But I watched it. I can comment on it. Let's talk about the 4K of The Boogens. All right, so for the audio, we did have 5.1 and 2.0. I'm a soundbar person, so personally, I always prefer the 2.0. I just like the more direct, compressed sound where everything's really even-keeled, the music to the voice and stuff. I've always been like that, which I know is kind of counterproductive to, you know, audio, but for soundbar people, I mean, I don't think you can really hear a difference between 5.1 and 2.0. That's just me anyway, so I'm a 2.0 guy until I get a better stereo setup. 2.0 for me is the way to go. In terms of the picture quality, Personally, I was really happy. I can confidently say I thought this was strong, and it clearly states it's a HDR/Dolby Vision master from a 4K scan of the 35mm original camera negative. So you cannot get better than this. I was really happy with this. Really, really clean. You ever notice sometimes when a 4K scan is done, the motion of people is smoother? It's almost like it's 60 frames per second. Obviously, film is 24 frames per second, but there's this smoothness to the negatives from 4K that makes it feel like it's almost 60 frames. I almost got that sense in the opening of the Boogens when they're outside in the snow and the guys are coming up, moving around their pickup trucks. I was super happy. I would give the picture quality on the Boogens a 9.5 out of 10. Loved it. I didn't really mess with any picture settings. Everything was just even keeled on my TV like I usually start. Sometimes if a 4K is kind of darker, I'll boost it if I need be. But with the Boogens, didn't even touch a thing. Just right out of the box. Super happy with this. So 9.5 out of 10 on the picture quality. There are 4Ks to me that are like so good they'll change your almost opinion about a movie. The Boogens isn't that, but in terms of a 4K, super happy with it. That's why I rate it so high. So no complaints with the 4K at all. Let's look at the features that the Boogens offers. We'll look at the back of this thing right now. Okay, so we have an audio commentary with director James Conway, writer David O'Malley, and actress Rebecca Balding, moderated by film historian Jeff McKay. We have an audio commentary with Jeff Harlan and film historian Howard S. Berger. And then we also have the William Munns, the man who made the Boogens. William Munns was famously the guy who got kicked off of Return of the Living Dead, by the way. So it was nice to see him, be praised a little bit for once. Alright guys, so here's the release of the Boogens. It's a 4K Ultra HD plus Blu-ray. There is no escape. Classic artwork. You got the hands above the house in the snow. Let's see. Here is the case of the Boogens. Something shouldn't be disturbed. I like those creature features, where and your discs look the same. A lot of people complain about the Kino disc. They say, hey guys, let's get a little creative and put some art on the disc. I guess I can understand that. We do have reversible artwork, ladies and gentlemen, and it looks like this is the old VHS artwork. Let's see. Here you go. There's your old school Boogens. I recommend the Boogens cheerfully and heartfully. That was a Stephen King quote. You can reverse the artwork for the Boogens. Look at that. So, guys, these 4Ks from Kino are kind of pricey. I really do hope the prices come down. I'm actually not getting everything that they've been putting out lately. I'm kind of picking and choosing because of that. But the Boogens is one I was really excited about. Big fan of this movie, so I did pick it up right away. I think Amazon did bump the price down right before it shipped, so I saved some money on that. Plus, I had a little bit of Amazon affiliate, money, so I got a good deal on the Boogens. But if you are kind of wanting to get a few titles from Kino, and you're like, I don't really know where to go. Some of these movies I've gotten before. I think the Boogens is going to be a good one for a lot of people because they may not have owned this before. They may not have seen this before. And personally, I give it the highest recommendation. It is a quaint, cozy, really fun creature feature that I love. So there's pretty good features in here. I really like the William Munns featurette. Just a good movie, guys. I give it 2 thumbs up. Happy with that release. Like I said, not picking up everything that Kino's doing, just kind of picking and choosing. So, I don't know what I'll pick up next from Kino, but probably Leviathan. But the Boogens, pick that one up, guys. I really think you're going to dig it if you haven't seen it. Like I said, if you're a creature feature fan, you're going to like this one, guys. So there's some really, really hair-raising scenes, too. So I like the movie a lot. Tell me your history with the Boogens. Have you seen the Boogens? Do you have any fun memories of the Boogens? Did you see it on TV or things like that? Let me know, guys. And if you have any questions about the release that I may not have mentioned, please drop it down below, and I'll get to it as soon as I can. This is your old pal CHH. Drop a like on the video. Drop a comment below, and I'll see you guys before you know it. Huge, giant thank you to all of my Patreon supporters. Without you guys, this would not be possible. To get behind-the-scenes photos, videos, music, private live streams, and much more, you can subscribe to my Patreon for as little as $1 a month. Thank you to my patrons.